One very unfair thing we do to children is giving them this idea that if they make one right decision right now, then their life is going to be all amazing. And if they make one wrong decision right now, then their life is going to be horrible. We put so much pressure on them, we put so much emphasis on making the right decision. And the problem is that often what we see as the right decision is just what we want. When it comes to like picking which stream they want, or like picking a career for them, picking a person to marry, the decision to have children or not to have children, or when to have children, whatever it is, all these important things, we tend to see like one right answer there, and we impose it on them, and we say that if you don't make this right choice right now, then everything is going to be horrible in your life. I have children coming to me, I have clients who they have a lot of anxiety regarding the things they do, and because of that they constantly live in this state of being frozen. Whenever they have to make a decision, they just freeze, because to them it feels like one wrong decision will take them to some place where they are going to be miserable. But the truth is that in life, most things are not governed by just one decision or one choice. Sometimes it does happen, yes. We have all heard stories where somebody was in the right place at the right time and something huge happened or whatever, but that is not the norm. Usually what happens is that who we are, what our life is like, is a result of a collection of choices, an accumulation of the effects of choices we make over the years. So, life is not as cruel as we think it is, that one wrong choice is going to destroy everything. It's usually that if you consistently make wrong choices in life, if you consistently make self-sabotaging or destructive choices or harmful choices, if you consistently make the choice to hurt other people or to do things that are hurting you, then yes, your life is going to be miserable after a while. But it's not one thing that is going to take you down that path of misery. It's usually a collection of things. It's a collection of factors. So when we put so much emphasis, when we put so much of pressure on children to choose wisely, basically to choose what we would choose in that situation, we're not really helping them. We're just giving them this huge anxiety about really living life. Because mistakes are a part of life. I keep saying this. Mistakes are a part of life. Mistakes are how we learn. Mistakes are just feedback that something that you did didn't work out. So then you can try something else. So choosing a stream, choosing a college, choosing a career, choosing what you want to do in life, which company you want to go to, whether you want to be an entrepreneur or you want to be somebody with a salary, whether you want to go into a creative field or you want to go into some white collar job, whatever it is, when we put so much of pressure that, if you pick wrong right now, and that too like at an age where children are already so stressed about life, and at an age where they're very immature, they're still developing the courage and the resilience to face the world. At that age, we get them so scared that throughout life they live as puppets. Anybody can make decisions for them because they're terrified to make decisions for themselves. They don't have a spine. And that's not good for them, because after 80 years of, living according to what everybody else thinks, having everybody else make decisions for you, what do they have left? When it's time for them to leave this world, do we want them to think, oh, I never made any mistake, but I was very unhappy? Or do we want them to think, I did make a few mistakes here and there, I did choose wrong once in a while, but I was very happy and I lived my life and I'm proud of the life I lived. You cannot be proud of a life that is forced upon you. You cannot be proud of a life where somebody else is constantly making decisions for you. So, I think it's time as parents and as teachers that we, relaxed a bit. We are so stressed, we are so worried about our children that it makes them feel like they are one mistake away from being complete failures. Right? That's not the idea we want to give them. That's not the worldview we want to impart to our children. So the next time when your child has an important decision to make, don't just hijack the whole process. Tell them what the right decision is and expect them to just follow it. Don't emotionally blackmail them by being all like, yeah, you can do whatever you want, but then don't come crying to me when everything falls apart. Don't come crying to me when you can't handle what you have selected. Be more supportive. Try to understand their reasons. Help them to weigh the pros and cons of whatever options they have. Try to guide them so that they can make a decision that is like self-aware, a decision that is good for them. But don't impose your decisions on them, and don't give them this anxiety that they are one mistake away from utterly failing. That's not the truth. That is not how life works. Let them be courageous, let them be bold, let them try out new things, let them explore, let them make a few mistakes, let them learn from those mistakes, and let them grow as very courageous people. Let them grow as people who are able to love and enjoy life even when there are hardships.